We're gonna learn together single area OSPF. I'm taking two routers, two switch, one PC is the right side, one PC is the left side. So right left are done. Then we're gonna configure the straight through cable. So PC to switch is straight always, switch to router is straight always, but the router to router we have to select the cross cable. Router to switch is a straight cable. I'll select this interfaces here because we have enough gig. One more gig is here. Just concentrate on how to configure the OSPF. So I'll say area 0, network, subnet 10.1.1.0/24. So this side will be 1, this side will be 2, then this one is 192.168.1.0/24. This side is 192.168.2.0/24. So my PC IP is 1, this side also 1, and router this side is 254, this side is 254. Okay, so let's configure the OSPF. So I'm assigning the IP 192.168.1.1 tap 192.168.1.254. This is my router interface IP, is a default gateway for my PC. The same way the other side 192.168.2.1 tap 192.168.2.254. This is the router interface IP, is my default gateway. Then going to configure the router. I'll say no, I don't want initial configuration, that's why I said no. Short form for enable, so is en, then config t to go to the global configuration. Then I'll say interface gig 0/0. I'm assigning the IP for my LAN interface, IP address 192.168.1.254. So this is the router interface for LAN side, and it will be the gateway for the LAN interfaces end users. I'll say no shut, it will be green, the interface is in up state. Then I'll configure the second interface gig 0/1, IP address 10.1.1.1 255.255.255.0. I'll say no shut. Then this interface also configure. So let's configure right now the OSPF. I'll exit, I'll say router OSPF. If you question mark here, it will say the process ID. Process ID we have to give 1 to 65,535. So you can assign any to identify the process ID number. That's why we provided the process ID. Then network, I'll say 192.168.1.0. So you need to assign the networks that are connected, not the neighbor networks. And then the wildcard mask for the entire network is 0.0.0.255 because we are using the class C/24 network. Then we have to say area is 0 because we are doing the single area OSPF. Done. The same command network 10.1.1.0 0.0.0.255 area 0 because we are doing the single OSPF area. Done. Then I'll say router hyphen ID to identify which router is this one. 1.1.1.1. Done. It's telling to now see what I did. Instead of assigning the router ID first, I assigned the router ID later. So it's telling me to reload or use clear IP OSPF process. So what this command will do, clear IP OSPF process. When I copy this, I have to go exit, and once I paste this, it will clear the process. I'll say yes. Then it will identify as per the router IDs which one is a DR, which one is a BDR. If I don't clear the process, then whichever has a MAC address priority, it will take the DR BDR process. So the enable, then the config T. So I am on the router 2. I'll say host name R2. Then I'll say int. So let me keep this little this side. Int gig 0/1 IP address 10.1.1.2 255.255.255.0. No shut, it will be green. Then int gig 0/0 LAN interface IP 192.168.2.254 LAN interface gateway. That is my router interface IP. Done. I'll say no shut. So is up. Exit. Router OSPF process ID 10 network 10.1.1.0 wildcard mask area 0 single area. Then the network 192.168.2.0 wildcard mask network 192.168.2.0 0.0.0.255 area 0. So we configured both the areas 10 and 192. So let's see. Let me say do WR. Let me go to PC. If we assign the IP, yes, we assign the IP. Let me go and say ping 192.168.1.1. So we can reach from 192.168.2.1. Let me open the IP config. So this is 1.1 ping 192.168.2.1. So we are able to ping the 2.1. We are able to ping 1.1. So the single OSPF area is done. There is a few commands we need to understand. Is show IP OSPF neighbor. So what this command will show, my neighbor is 192.168.2.254, the neighbor ID, and that is BDR, and is connected via 10.1.1.2. The same thing, if I type from this side on the router 2, exit, show IP OSPF neighbor. So here it will say my neighbor is 1.1.1, priority 1 is DR, and he is connected via his interface is 10.1.1.1.